And here's Arthur Burns, Nixon's lackey. He was a lawyer, and Nixon appointed him as the Federal Reserve Board chairman. Really had no experience, except that he would do what Nixon said to get prices and unemployment down. He smoked a pipe, so yeah, very contemplative. Compared to Volker over here, look at that, chomping on a cigar inside the halls of Congress, and tinted glasses, and got us out of this by putting the hammer down to stomp out inflation caused by Burns. So I can see why Powell, his hero, is Volker. I can understand that a little better now by comparing the two pictures. The NYA monthly chart with the KST, Coppock curve, and PPO. You can see price up here. We're more concerned with the indicators. I'll scroll down. And the long-term KST is trying to avoid going under zero and doing a good job of it. It's about to go back up above its signal line here. So that's a really good sign. Staying away from zero, and the Coppock curve has already made its turn, gone above zero, and once it does that, we're almost out of the woods or out of the woods. And the PPO extreme, after spending a few months at zero, in the thumbnail you can see it better, and then taking a dip for a scare and then blasting out above zero. So this is all really good sign. As you can see, some of the other eras when it hit zero here for the KST, and back here in the Volker era too. So that's what they're comparing to today. And this crossover above the KST signal line happened for the beginning of February 1983. And I know how to have fun. Let's go back and look at that Volker era. And here is February 1st, 1983, during the Volker era. And you can see that the 10-year made it down to 9.72. And then another scare to the upside. But let's scroll down and look at the other indicators. And here's the RSI and MACD, and you can see the RSI was mumbling around at the bottom over here around February 1st, and the MACD was headed down towards the zero line and eventually got back under there before it valleyed over here. And back in the NYA monthly chart, you can see I have the cursor right on the Coppock curve, went above zero in the beginning of January and was well on its way up in February 1st and went on like that until July, September. And then back in the 10-year monthly chart, you can see February 1st, the MACD was still almost going to that valley, and RSI picked up. So that means the 10-year started going back up again. However, by then, February 1st, 83, you can see the KST up here had that crossover and was headed up. And if you look up at price, it was headed up too, and the PPO could have been peaking a bit as a signal and indication that sometime soon it's going to head back down, and it did. But by then, price had its day in the sun and was headed up. So that's a contrary indication between the KST, Coppock curve, PPO, and the 10-year yield headed back up one more time.